Hey everyone, good afternoon. Give me a minute here to get this pulled up on my computer and give a few minutes for some more people to jump in, hopefully. Uh-oh. Give me a second here. Right. YouTube's just doing whatever it wants. Well, isn't that what it always does? All right, I see we got a few people in there now. I'm just, it was saying that there was no internet, but it seems to be working now, so just get the stream pulled up. There it is. All right, there I am. Okay. Sorry, that took a minute. Hey, Vinny, first one in here. How you doing? Chris, hello. MF Burns, how you doing? DJ Plays Favorites, hello. Gigi, hi. How are you? Lee, hello in the UK. Steve Thomas, hello. MF Burns says, I always miss your lives. Well, I'm glad you didn't miss this one. I still need to watch your favorite movies video. Well, sorry, I'm going to ruin it for you because we're going to talk about it here in a minute. Alan, hello in Germany. Vinny, I'm glad we had some of the favorite movies. We have some favorite movies. Dadzilla, thank you so much. How you doing? Rick, hello. Good to see you in here. Mr. Cool, hello. Thank you so much. Hey, Mr. Buttermaker. I feel like I haven't seen you in here for a while. Family's doing okay. Hope you're doing all right. David, thank you very much. Brian, hello. Okay, so I'm gonna use Hey, Cobra Spotted Wolf, thank you so much for the super chat or the super sticker. I don't know. I can't tell the difference sometimes, but thank you. I really appreciate it. Oh, it's a super sticker. It says right there. So if some of you missed it, I put out a video yesterday. It was supposed to be Monday's video, but because of some technical issues with YouTube, the video wasn't going to be uploaded on time on Monday. So I decided to just save it for yesterday. And it was a video talking about my top 20 favorite movies. Now, I made it very clear that I was not saying that these were the top 20 best movies of all time, but these were my top 20 favorite movies. And I said that, therefore I couldn't be wrong, but I knew that people tell me that I was wrong in the comments. And of course, that's what happened. A lot of people took to the comments to tell me, I can't believe you forgot this movie. I can't believe you forgot that movie. How could you not put this? Oh, that movie sucks. So, it's funny. It's what I expected. I plan on doing more of these list videos. And at some point, I actually plan on doing some lists where rather than talk about my favorite, where I talk about what I think the greatest of all time is. And I know I'm asking for it on that one. But, what can you do? So we're going to talk about it. I want to hear your opinions. I want to hear what you think of my list, what your favorites are, what I forgot. I'm going to grab the list right here in a second. I forgot to bring it over here with me. But Kevin says, wasn't a bad movie list. You just forgot Rad. I was a big BMXer back then and loved it. So, yeah, a lot of people, and I know you don't mean anything by this, but a lot of people kept telling me, well, you forgot this and you forgot that. Well, I didn't forget anything. It's just there's a lot of movies I love and only 20 of them can be in the top 20. So I love Rad. Rad is such a great movie. You're not the first person to bring it up. There was a couple comments about it. I love Rad, but there's a lot of movies that for me come before it. Like you said, you were a big BMXer, but I was a big skateboarder. So obviously Gleaming the Cube and Thrashin' are going to come before Rad for me. Oh, MF Burns, I appreciate that. You said you're still going to watch the video anyways. Thank you. Hello in Hesperia. Pizza Rat, thank you for reminding everybody to give a thumbs up. David says, hello. Phil, hello in the SFV. Hey, Mike in Texas, how you doing? Listening to me while doing yard work in between showers here in San Diego. Thanks for listening. Yeah, and I'm glad it finally stopped raining here, pouring nonstop for 2 days, which we are not used to here in Southern California. Okay, let me grab my list. Hold on. I'm sorry. Be right back. Okay. All right. So, in case you didn't see the video, I'm going to tell you the list right now, and then you can give your opinions. And I'd also like to hear what some of your favorite movies are, what you think I left off the list, or what would be on your list. So my list, starting at number 20, The Breakfast Club, great movie. Number 19, Gleaming the Cube, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And as I stated in my video, I love this movie. It is one of John Hughes' best films, but it's not higher on my list because it just makes me so sad. It is such a sad movie. And so that's why. Number 17, Boys in the Hood, 16 Candles, The Karate Kid, Commando, my favorite action movie of all time. Number 13, The Burbs, Crush Groove, Do the Right Thing, The Lost Boys, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, which I wish, that's everyone's saying, like, I can't believe this wasn't on your list. I can't believe that. Like, that's a good example. I wanted Pee-wee's Big Adventure to be higher on the list, but there's so many great movies. It's just hard. But, oh man, Pee-wee's Big Adventure is such a big one for me. So number 9, Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Number 8, Valley Girl, Thrashin', Colors, and then the top 5, Back to the Future, License to Drive, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Can't Buy Me Love, and Vacation. So there it is, my top 20. And now I'm giving all of you, like everyone's leaving comments, but now we can discuss it here. Instead of just leaving a comment, we can actually discuss it a little bit. Okay. So it's freezing up on my end. I'm hoping that it's just on my end and not the stream. Okay, there we go. It's moving now. MF Burns says, definitely got to do a music list. I agree. That is going to be a tough one, and I'm going to take some crap for that one for sure. But I'm ready. Eric, I have seen Corey Feldman live. I actually, I saw him. I've seen videos of it, but I actually saw him perform live. It was a good time. We'll say that. Vinny, the two pillows line. I mean, it's classic. Mr. Cool says everyone has their own taste in movies, but we can all agree the 80s were amazing and movies are one of them. Exactly. Everyone's list is going to be different. No, there's no way. And I mean, that's the thing. Even if I made a list saying these were the 20 most influential movies of the 80s, these were the 20 biggest artists of the 80s, someone is going to disagree. Someone's going to be like, well, I can't believe you left the Eagles off. If someone was more into classic rock or more into hair metal or more into rap. So everyone's always going to disagree. That's just the way it is. Hello, Elizabeth Harrison. Steve, thank you for the compliment on the hat. All right, I'm getting to all your comments about the list. Getting there. Austin Powers, how you doing? Austin Powers says, "Hey Kurt, really liked your list. I've actually never seen any of those skating movies though." Yeah, like I said in the video, I don't know if you were someone who was into skateboarding growing up, but if you weren't, then I understand that you might not know those movies and might not care about those movies. I totally get that. That's why if I made the top 10 biggest movies of the 80s, like those movies probably wouldn't be on there because I realize that those movies are geared more towards me and people like me. Exactly. You'd have to make a top 10,000 movies list to keep everybody happy. They probably still wouldn't all be happy. Your video really makes me realize how many great 80s movies there are. No way to list them all. No way. It's just not possible. Angels Win. I did not forget Beverly Hills Cop and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Beverly Hills Cop was actually very close to being in the top 20. If I would have done top 25, it would have been there. It almost made it into the top 20 though. Ferris Bueller also, I think would end up in the top 30. Yeah, if I just did 10 more, maybe top 25. I'm not sure. Love both of those movies. And a lot of people complained that Goonies wasn't on there also. Again, can't really complain. These are my favorite movies. But yeah, I love Goonies. It wouldn't fall into the top 20 for me. There's just so many. So many great movies. Henry, hello in Utah. Dadzilla says, I was happy someone acknowledged Valley Girl. But when they attack the car, save the radio. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like that movie does not get the love that it deserves. I've got a couple of friends that are, that love the 80s, that grew up in the same time as me, and they've never seen it. And that just blows my mind. It's, oh my gosh, such a great movie. Angels Win says, Can't Buy Me Love over Back to the Future is criminal. I get that. I understand. Again, I didn't say that Can't Buy Me Love is a better movie than Back to the Future. That's not what I said. I was very clear that, in my opinion, Back to the Future is either a perfect movie or a close to perfect movie. Like Back to the Future, like everything about Back to the Future. That it covers basically all genres. It's a comedy, it's sci-fi, it's drama, it's like it's a little bit of everything. The acting is perfect, the characters are perfect, the stories are perfect, the sequels are perfect. Back to the Future not be messed with. But the reason why Can't Buy Me Love was higher on my list, it's just, I don't know why it's higher on my list. It's just a movie that I can watch over and over and over and over and over again. Like, I don't know. I just really love it. Again, I don't think it's a greater movie. It just falls a little bit higher on my list. MF Burns says Trading Places is one of my favorites. Great movie. Pulp Fiction, Die Hard, Groundhog Day, Ferris Bueller, Top Gun, all movies you forgot. Angels, I didn't forget them. They're just not in my top 20. All my favorite movies, Austin Powers says, all-time favorite movie is Top Gun. Also embodies the 80s and one of the best soundtracks ever. I didn't do a Breaking Bad video because it's not 80s, but maybe one day when I have the second channel where I cover non-80s stuff. Brian says I had green berets for breakfast. It's what's the line is I eat green berets for breakfast, and right now I'm feeling hungry. Or really hungry, pretty hungry. Angels Win says Top Gun should have been top 3. To not put it at all is ridiculous. Angels Win is really mad at me about my list. I'm sorry. Surprised Star Wars or Raiders of the Lost Ark didn't make the list, but I guess that makes sense since you like comedies. So glad you included The Burbs, such an underrated movie. Ferris Bueller. Yeah, Ferris Bueller, like I just said, would have been, it was really close. Probably top 30, maybe top 25. Yeah, I am, and I know I'm going to get some hate for this. I'm not a big Star Wars guy. I recognize what amazing movies they are. I understand why people love them so much. I just personally never got into Star Wars the way everyone else did. I had some of the Star Wars toys. I've watched the movies multiple times in my life. I just can't get into them the way other people do. Same with the Indiana Jones movies. Yeah, I don't know. They just don't do it for me the way that they do for other people. Not saying they're bad movies, though. Brian, thank you. Brian says it's a great list. Mr. Cool says 3 o'clock high. Ferris Bueller and Weird Science should be with Breakfast Club because they are all school movies from the 80s. I mean, really, there's so many school movies from the 80s. Crosswalk Larry says, what? No Microwave Massacre? Your head stays so still while reading comments. Sometimes I think the stream froze. Maybe it did. I thought I was always moving. Just watching The Burb for the millionth time. Yes, I mean, it's such a great movie. Hard Bodies, that's a great one. Definitely wouldn't make my top 20 though, but another great Courtney Gaines movie. Man, Courtney Gaines, people don't realize how many movies Courtney Gaines was in. The Burbs, super underrated film. Glad you had it on your list. Thank you. Max says you should share a quick story of when you first saw the movie, especially if it was in the theater. Yeah, that wouldn't be too exciting because most movies I saw for the first time either on cable. Like every Saturday night, my family would we would sit down because every Saturday HBO would premiere a new movie, and so every Saturday night my family sat down together and we watched the new movie that premiered. So either that way or renting. That was most how I saw most movies. My family did not go. I actually didn't go to a walk-in movie theater until I was a teenager. The first time I was in a walk-in movie theater was on a date with a girl when I was like 13 or 14. When I was a kid, my family went to the drive-in, but really just a handful of times. I only remember in the drive-in seeing Ghostbusters and Mr. Mom. Maybe E.T. I'm not sure about that one, but definitely Ghostbusters and Mr. Mom. Okay, that would be a good list. 20 most underrated movies of the 80s. I might be up for that one. Pizza Rat says strong contenders, Iron Eagle, Pretty in Pink, The Shining, Videodrome, and Blade Runner. Pretty in Pink definitely would be pretty high for me. Mr. Crinkle says some of my favorite 80s movies, Midnight Madness, Cannonball Run, and Clue. Free Thinker says My Tutor. I like the Vacation movie and the VHS artwork. Do not forget First Blood. Bodyguard was a very good 80s movie. I believe Bodyguard was 90s. My Bodyguard was an 80s movie. Jack says it's a great list and it's special to you. Totally makes sense to me. Thank you, Jack. The Real Life Perspective Show. What's up? Since you were a skateboarder, did you ever visit the skate park from Chips? No, I never. That was like a little bit before my skateboarding time. That was Skater Cross in Reseda was the name of that skate park, and it was still there while I was alive. But by the time I started skating, it was gone. But yeah, once I got into skateboarding, we used to visit the 7-Eleven that was right next door to Skater Cross, and my dad would every once in a while mention to me when we were going to 7-Eleven, there used to be a skateboarding place right here, and I would see ambulances out there all the time. So never did see it in person. I probably did pass by it when it was still around and just didn't notice it because skateboarding wasn't on my radar yet. Mr. Cool says, Kurt, you cover a lot of 80s movies and always and shows, and I enjoyed every one of them. The ones I never heard of, I watched them and now like them as well. Awesome. I'm glad I was able to introduce you to some stuff. Billy says Purple Rain. Quite a few people were surprised that Purple Rain was not on my list, being that I am such a huge Prince fan. But honestly, if I would have put Purple Rain on the list, I wouldn't have been being honest with myself. I would have been putting it just because of how much I like Prince as an artist. I do love that movie, but definitely not top 20 for me. Not really sure where it would fall. But I do love that movie. Just watched it recently, actually. Commando is one of the best Schwarzenegger movies. I agree. I think it's his best. Ray, what's going on? Was surprised no Ghostbusters, but Burbs was an excellent choice. Yeah, I figured a lot of. I'm surprised that not more people were angry that Ghostbusters wasn't on there. I have zero issues with your list. The ones I've seen are great. If I was stuck on a desert island and could only watch movies from your list, I could live with that. Awesome. Thank you. Don't care what others think about your list. What matters is that you like it. Well, I get that. I mean, obviously it is my list, but you know, I also and that by putting the list out there for the public that I'm going to get the comments, and so let's do it. You know, that's why I said in the beginning of the video, I know that people are going to tell me how much they hate my list or disagree with my list, and you know, because I knew it was going to come, and I was putting it out there, and it's, you know, it's fine. And that's why I thought it would also be fun to discuss it here, because we can actually have a discussion rather than just, you know, leaving a comment about it. Monster Squad and Real Genius. That is so funny that you like Can't Buy Me Love. I live by Tucson High and was there during the filming. That's awesome. For me, I went to Tucson High twice, once just to visit it, and then once when I made my Can't Buy Me Love video. And for me, it was so cool to walk, like as soon as I walked in, you know, so much has not changed in that main building. Some stuff has, but it was like, oh my gosh, this is it. Hey, Drew V, thank you so much for the super chat. Do you like slapstick, Top Secret, for example? Yeah, absolutely. Not like Top Secret's good for me. Naked Gun would be like the ultimate. Austin Powers said Roadhouse would be in my top 5. Okay, I'm going to say something right now that is going to make everybody so angry, but I'm just going to admit it. I've actually never seen Roadhouse. It's been on my to watch list for the last month or so. I decided, you know what, I want to watch Roadhouse, and I just have not got around to it yet, but I'm going to be watching it in the very near future. Not that new Roadhouse, but the original one. But somehow I don't know why, I just never got around to it. I know people love it so much. I hate admitting that, because I've seen on some of the other 80s channels, they'll bring up a movie and say they've never seen it. And I'm just like, what? How can you know? That's such a staple of the 80s. How could you have never seen that? So I hate telling you, but yeah, haven't seen it yet. But I'm going to watch it soon. And after I do, I'll let you know what I think. MF Burns says Red Dawn. That's a great one. Vice Versa with Fred Savage. Love that movie. I love all those switcheroo movies. Heat's a great action movie. Free Thinker says EPMD hat is fire. Thank you. I always get so many compliments on this hat. Mr. Cool. Yeah, of course I heard about Carl Weathers. Very sad. I posted a little Action Jackson tribute to him the day he passed. Money Pit and Big were some great 80s movies. Absolutely. As I said in the video, a big Tom Hanks fan, so I was kind of shocked at myself that there weren't more Tom Hanks movies on the list. I think Big probably would have been the next one up, and then maybe Money Pit might have been after that. Love Money Pit. Boys in the Hood is 91, set in the 80s. Also, any good surf movies from the 80s since you're in SoCal? Boys in the Hood, only the beginning is set in the 80s, the flashback, and then it goes to current times. Yeah, no real big surf movies for me, except for like Point Break. I was more focused on the skateboarding movies. Oh, what's going on here? The list froze up. Kurt, I know you have done a few Lost 80s at the Greek Theater. I work there. Let me know if this year I will hook you up with some drinks and food. Hey, awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I go to the Greek very often. It is my favorite music venue. I was actually very sad to see that this year they moved Lost 80s. It's no longer at the Greek. They're doing it at the Peacock Theater, which is an indoor theater. And yeah, I'm pretty bummed about that. So I actually, as of now, I'm not going to the Lost 80s this year. The lineup hasn't changed much, and it's not at the Greek anymore. But I'm going to the Greek soon. I can't remember what for, though. Adamant? Yeah, I think I'll be there for Adamant. Well, I know I'm going to Adamant. I think that's the next concert I'm going to at the Greek. Okay, David says, I agree with Fast Times being top 5. I figured a lot of people would not disagree with Fast Times or Back to the Future. And another thing, somebody commented saying, this isn't your favorite movies of all time. You know, these are your favorite 80s movies. Actually, not true. It just so happens that most of my favorite movies are 80s movies. There was one 90s movie in there. If we would have went a little bit further, there would have been more 90s movies. If I would have done top 100, believe it or not, there would have been a couple of post-90s movies in there. Not many, but there would have been a couple. There was actually one post-90s movie that almost made it to the top 20, but then I was like, no, I can't do it. There's so many others that beat this out. So yeah, it wasn't meant to be a favorite 80s list. Dadzilla says my list would get the stink eye from so many. My wife and kids even question me. Valley Girl, Secret Admirer, Men at Work, Porky's, The Wildlife. My list would make me look highly uncultured. So I don't know if you've seen them, but I did a video on Valley Girl, filming locations for Valley Girl. I did a video on The Wildlife, and I'm actually currently, when I say currently, I mean like literally right before I went live, and once I get off, I'm going back to it. I'm currently editing my next filming location video, which hopefully will be up Friday, and it's another one of your favorite movies. I'm not going to say which one. And then another one of your favorite movies, I have started tracking down all the locations, and I'll probably start filming it in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, I've done a lot of movies on your list. Brian says, I cannot imagine watching Colors with my parents and a 10-year-old girl. Yeah, it was awful. Like I still think about it like randomly, and I get like I cringe. The 10-year-old girl, she was my girlfriend. She lived in my apartment building, and you know, it was one of those things. You want to be my girlfriend, okay? And then I asked my parents, can I invite her over to watch a movie with us? And they said, yeah. And I didn't know what the movie was going to be like. My parents should have thought about this. You know, the violence was one thing, but there is some like really, really graphic sex in that movie, and nudity. And I remember like feeling really uncomfortable. And I remember the girl, she was sitting in a chair, like she was just sitting there like frozen throughout the whole movie. And then as soon as it was over, she just like stood up and said, "Thank you, good night," and left. And honestly, that was like one of the last times I saw her. And I'm pretty sure that's why. I'm pretty sure she went home and told her mom like everything that was in the movie. And then her mom was like, "Yeah, you can't talk to that kid anymore." Austin Powers says Ghostbusters also in my top 5. Understandable. Sorry, I know I'm missing some of your guys' comments. There's a lot coming at me. I'm trying to get to everything before I got to jump off here in a minute, go have lunch, and get back to editing. I watched Mac and Me today, and I don't know how I liked that as a kid. Come on, it's such a fun movie. I mean, obviously, it's a bad movie, but that's what makes it good. Come on, Mac. He flies through McDonald's after dancing. I mean, oh, it's hilarious. But it wasn't supposed to be funny. Eric says, my mom took me to see the Twilight Zone movie when I was 7, and it freaked me out. Thanks, Ma. Oh, man, my parents let me watch so many movies that messed up my head. They had no, like, there was no, I could watch whatever I want, basically. It was bad. Ronald says Beverly Hills Cop and the first 2 Police Academy movies were great. Gigi says Fletch. Yeah, I know. I wanted to put Fletch in that top 20. It just didn't make it. But yeah, Fletch has got to be my second favorite Chevy Chase movie, though, for sure. Oh, it's so good. So many good lines from Fletch. I'm not sure on my list. It's so good, though. Okay, I don't know if I missed the comments, but I'm not seeing any comments yelling at me for not watching Roadhouse. I must have accidentally skipped over them. I was surprised not to see Break-In or Break-In 2. I thought about both of those movies. And then I wasn't sure which one would you know, which one would be on there. Yeah. Great Outdoors was another one that I considered. Love that movie so much. I'd have to stop and think if I like Great Outdoors or Summer Rental more. I think Great Outdoors, but oh man, Summer Rental is such a good one too. Weird, my comments aren't going through. Okay, well, I see that comment. People have been complaining lately, saying that not in the live chat, but actually on videos, that their comments are getting deleted. Like me, that like they put it up and then like instantly YouTube is taking it back down. I don't know what's going on with that. Emerson Biggins says, big fan. You do great work. Thank you, Emerson. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Darth Nerd says, hey, Kurt, finally caught your live stream. How are you? I am doing okay. How are you? Thank you for asking. Just One of the Guys is a great one. No, no Police Academy for me. Great movies though. Just wouldn't be in my top 20. And if one of those were going to be on my list, it would be Citizens on Patrol. What is that? Police Academy 4, right? Because of the skateboarding. That was always my favorite Academy movie because of the skateboarding. Plus, I think it's a really funny movie. Okay, little baby, how you doing? Good to see you. Little baby says, that's fine. Just watch it. I assume they are talking about Roadhouse, or he is talking about Roadhouse. And so, yeah, I will. Mental, now for this weekend, go and watch Roadhouse before the remake comes out. All right, here come the Roadhouse comments. Oh, here we go. Never seen Roadhouse. Your 80s license is revoked. What are you going to do? I mean, look, I'm pretty sure there's far greater 80s movies than Roadhouse. I haven't seen it, but I'm just saying. You got to keep in mind also, like I mentioned, I am not a big action guy, and I know Roadhouse is it's like an action movie. I'm not a big action guy. I do like a lot of action movies, but they don't fall high on my list. So Lost Angels, there's a good one, a forgotten movie. Austin Powers says Roadhouse had some of the best one-liners in movie history. Okay, I'm excited then. I'm pretty excited to watch it. Mine would be Secret Admirer with Kelly Preston and a very young Corey Haim. Good one. Keep your eyes open. Revenge of the Nerds. Yeah, oh man. I don't know where that would fall on my list. Oh man, such a great one. Kurt, quick question. Any chance of doing the filming locations for Big Trouble in Little China? So I thought about doing it when I was in San Francisco last time. The thing is there's just not really a lot to show. Almost the entire movie is filmed on sound stages. There's really just like 3 or 4 quick shots in San Francisco. Maybe. I mean, I'd like to do it just because I love the movie, but there's just not a lot to show. I miss John Candy. He was such a nice man and a good actor. He really was. He was hilarious. I wish he was still around. Yes, I was a Transformers kid. Great list, Kurt. All good stuff. I absolutely love that you love License to Drive so much. I have never met another person who has even seen it. What? That's crazy. That is like an 80s must. Can't Buy Me Love is my favorite. Love the filming location video you did. Great job on that one. Thank you so much, Robert. Yeah, I loved putting that video together because I love the movie so much. Hopefully you all are still seeing me. On my end, the video there's been no video for like the last 5 minutes. I think it might be the internet in my area. So I'm still seeing your chat. Hopefully you guys can still see me. I'm going to get out of here in a second because I am starving. I have not eaten yet today. I'm going to go have lunch, and then I got to get back to editing because I need to get this video up by Friday. Okay, good. It says you can still see me. So I'm going to get out of here in a second. I feel like there was something else I wanted to bring up about the movies. I just can't remember what it was. Maybe next time I'll talk about it. I know there was something else I wanted to, while we were talking about the movies, I wanted to tell you all about something else. Cobra Spotted Wolf says, I've been sharing the Repo Man location video. Love that. I love that you've been sharing it. Thank you. Thank you so much. It was an awesome live stream, Kurt. Thanks for sharing time and memories with us all. Mr. Cool, thank you very much. Yeah, I kind of like this one. I like that, there was some back and forth between all of us. Oh man, I haven't Angels Win stopped commenting. Maybe I really did make Angels Win angry. Well, I hope I didn't lose you as a subscriber. I'm sorry that my movie list was not to your liking. I'm sorry. License to Drive, the dad going off in the garage gets me every time. I quote that constantly. Like anytime my son does anything wrong and I tell him I'm going to I'll start going into that thing. You had a room, you had a stereo, you had a baseball mitt, you had a window with sunlight, gone, all gone. Oh, of course I remember Mannequin. Come on, it's a great one. Yeah, Alice, I'm a little shocked that there weren't more John Candy movies on the list besides Vacation. Great Outdoors and Summer Rental were both very close to being on that list. I love both those movies so much. Okay, I am going to get out of here. I am starving. Thank you all so much for joining me. I'm glad that we got to chat a little bit about this. If you haven't watched the top 20 list, go watch it. Or maybe you don't have to because we just talked about all the movies. But you can go watch it and then you can comment more about it. And hopefully the filming location video will be out Friday. It has to be because I have to have a video up Friday. So I'm going to go jump on that now. And then I will see you all back here next Wednesday. All right. Thank you all for joining me. And I will talk to you all soon. Have a great rest of your week. Bye.